Hello Blues fans and welcome to the latest game of the Chelsea weekend. Live action on the fifth stand here coming from the PL2 as Chelsea play Blackburn in this early Sunday lunchtime kickoff. Been a tough start to the division this term. Andy Myers has the youngest group we've seen the club put out for one of these campaigns, but they did manage a first win of the season last time out in this division. And what a win it was against Liverpool. They were behind early, but levelled shortly before the breakthrough. Brian Feerbema there. And that was on 41 minutes. Then Musialowski, who's a good player, scored 2 goals for Liverpool in 3 minutes. But then, an extraordinary late comeback from the Blues. Great ball here to find George Nunn, who headed in for 3-2. Then off the bench came Joe Haig. And he equalised there for 3 each. And then, in about the 147th minute of stoppage time, what a moment for Lewis Hall, who's been having a great season. Nods Chelsea to a late victory, the first win of the season, 4-3 in incredible circumstances. A wonderful game, and we hope for similar entertainment today. And we may well get it against Blackburn. As you can see, they've not won yet, but they have scored and conceded tons of goals. These two only a point apart in the early PL2 table. Chelsea not used to being down there and hopefully won't be for too long. But as I said, it's been a tough season in terms of selection, and we're seeing plenty of changes from week to week with a lot of games going on, which is how we like it. In the Football League Trophy and in Europe, Andy Myers takes all of these groups. Players coming soon, and Tommy Langley expecting entertainment.
Very much so, yes. I was fortunate enough to do the co-coms on the Liverpool game, and what a fantastic finish it was at 3-3. Ben, you're just hoping you see the game out. We haven't won a game this year, but they show great spirit, great heart. And Xavier Simons got down the right-hand side, and there was Lewis Hall at the far post to nod it in, 95th minute, and a great way to get the first victory. And hopefully, as you said, they can carry on and get some confidence out of that and go forward.
Blackburn ready at Cobham. A little on the late side, but we'll forgive them that. It's a long trip. I mentioned the changes. 24 players used already by Andy Myers. That is unusual at this level. We're actually going to see a 25th today. More on him shortly. Once the Chelsea boys turn up to the party, that is. But it has been a busy week, and that's why you get these changes. There was a midweeker in the UEFA Youth League. Blues lost 3-1 in Turin. Missed some chances at 1 down. 2-0 down in stoppage time with the first half. Did pull one back through Jaden Wareham, who's not involved today, and conceded a late third. But they had won 3-1 in the opener in that group. Remember, that group will mirror that of the seniors, so they've got a double header with Malmo coming next. All in all, this group has played 9 times this season, whether you're talking 19s, 21s or 23s, and Andy Myers and John Harley take all 3 of them. Couple of wins, 3 draws, 4 defeats, and what we have seen, Tommy, at both ends actually, not just in that Liverpool game, quite a lot of goals, for and against.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's been a lot of mistakes in the final third from our point, in the back 3 from our point of view, and obviously every time we've made a mistake, we've been punished, and especially in the Arsenal game. It did reflect a 6-1 result, but that's what we ended up with. And even Liverpool, we created our own mistakes. Liverpool was squeezing high up the pitch, and some poor passing let them in on a couple of occasions. So we've created a lot of our own problems in that back third, but going forward, we've also created a lot of opportunities. And, you know, we've got an experienced midfield in there today. Lewis Baker, George McEachran involved, and obviously Charlie Musonda as well. So you expect another load of chances today. So let's hope we can keep them out of the back and create opportunities for the strikers up front.
Yes, in relative terms, that's unbelievable experience. It's like having seasoned pros, really. I think these, especially Lewis Baker, certainly has played tons and tons of football down the divisions, out in the Netherlands as well. Harvey Vale back in and with the armband on as well today.
Yeah, he was a big miss against Liverpool. He was one of the guys that for some reason didn't play. Maybe fatigue, maybe a little knock, but we missed him, and as I said, his creativity is important.
He's one of 3 changes today from that Liverpool 11. 2 in defence, where Josh Brooking gets a start, and so does the trialist Bryant Bilongo, the third change is Vale being back. This is the Blackburn side. Look out for number 9, Sam Burns. A real threat. 5 goals this season already, and he was brilliant in the 2 back-to-back games at the end of last season against the Blues, which you may have been with us for. Blackburn have scored 14 times in their 7 outings, and yet they haven't won, so that tells you plenty about how we can expect entertainment. Let's hope so. And it'll be interesting to see Bryant Bilongo. Keep an eye out for him. Number 5 for Chelsea today. On trial from Kingstonian, who he's just joined this summer actually, but now he's just joined Chelsea on trial. There is Harvey Vale, who's been the main man for goals. And even though he's not remotely the oldest or most experienced player out there, he has got the armband. You never know how good a thing it is when you've got the likes of Baker and Musonda and McEachran playing, because obviously they're not out on loan. George McEachran, Charlie Musonda haven't had as much joy, anything like, as Lewis Baker on loan, who's had some really good experience in the Eredivisie with Leeds, with the MK Dons and various others. Hopefully he'll be a class act in the middle of the park today. For what has generally been such a young team, it's basically been a youth team this season, as the players take a knee. United in the stand against discrimination. Three defeats, 4 draws, no wins for Blackburn, but they have been dangerous, Burns included. An early grab for Teddy Sharman-Lowe, who's in goal for the Blues today. Even that's been a revolving door. Simons with the ball forward, and it's a good ball, but the flag is up against Brian Fairbairn. Nice to see Xavier Simons back and playing regularly. Horrible injury. Basically had a whole calendar year out. We've seen him in a back 3, Tom, a back 4.
Yeah, very impressed, and it was him who got forward in the 94th minute against Liverpool to smash the ball across, so he certainly isn't struggling through fitness, even though he's only had a couple of games. And as I said, I've been very impressed with his ability to get up and down that right-hand side. He even plays centre-back as well in one game, Ben, so he's multifunctional.
A couple of years ago, very much a box-to-box slash defensively minded central midfielder when he was playing very well for the under-18s. And then a really bad injury just over a year ago, and didn't play again until actually the other day. Came on as a late substitute against West Ham, pretty much to the day, a calendar year on from his last game. George Nunn with the nod down there. We think George Nunn will be left wing back-ish, but we'll check on that as possession continues. McEachran. I would think he and Baker should have the clout, Tommy, to boss midfield today. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
the clout and the experience and the ability. I mean, when George McEachran gets on the ball, he's fantastic, got great vision, and you know, when he can be the quarterback in there and spray balls left and right, and he's got the ability to break down defences with one pass.
There is Bryant Bilongo, a debut on trial. It's a different world now, recruiting young players. If you've got a spare half hour and a couple of quid, Tommy will pop down into Frankie's and talk you through it. But, recruitment is a different game. Bilongo there was able to keep that in. Wasn't the greatest pass from George McEachran. But welcome to Chelsea, Bryant Bilongo. Quite a summer. He was at Hanworth Villa, having come through the ranks at Wimbledon, to Kingstonian in the summer, and already now having a trial at Chelsea and straight in. Back there, there's Brooking and there's Mbuyamba. I think it's a back 5. Simons with defending to do, and he did it.
Yeah, done very well there. Didn't dive in. The forward Gilsman trying to go at him there, trying to get him to commit, and he stood his ground and did really well there. Yeah, it's a back 3 bed. It's a normal shape for Andy and John today. The 2 wing backs, as you rightly said, being Nunn and Xavier Simons, and then that ability of McEachran and Baker in that midfield area. So, yeah, plenty to look forward to.
Comes the first corner of the game from Blackburn. It's towards Ashley Phillips. scored from the corner in City the other day. It's a penalty. Well, we had a nightmare start, didn't we, in the Arsenal game when Tommy and I were with you not so long ago, with a very early penalty given, and that was harsh. Harvey Vale has caught Jake Garrett there. He was trying to clear the ball, but I guess he kicked his thigh. It's got to be, isn't it?
Well, I don't think he's made contact with the ball, and he's certainly made contact with the player. So it's a disappointing first touch from Harvey. Took it away from his body. He's had a swipe at it with his right foot and made contact with the ongoing forward. For me, a blatant penalty, but as I said, not the start we wanted.
Right, come on then, Teddy Sharman-Lowe. It's Sam Burns. 2 goals in the last game. He wants this for 6 this season. He's not even all about goals. He's a brilliant team forward. A chance to hurt Chelsea early here, and he has. Blackburn in front. The good news is they never hold on to their leads, and they've had plenty of them. So hopefully there will be plenty of chances for Chelsea to get back in. We promised you that there was every chance of a goal fest, and we've started with one early here from 12 yards out.
Yeah, I look back to the Arsenal game. We conceded after 3 minutes a penalty, although he missed it. He hit the rebound in, and now all of a sudden Liverpool as well. We went a goal down in the first 6 minutes, and again today we've self-destructed. I mean, it was a poor first touch from Harvey. We bounced down to him, took it away from his body, and he's had a swipe with his right foot. Definitely made contact, got no problem with the decision. Unlike the Arsenal decision, I thought that was a poor one. But again, backs against the wall.
That game where Burns scored and was so good. Harvey Vale was absolutely brilliant. A bad start for him here. He actually scored a really good goal, and he set up all 3 of the others. That 4-2 win for Chelsea. It's the last game of last season. So these two have seen a lot of each other of late. That's another foul.
Again, it's Harvey Vale involved. Again, he was sloppy with his first touch there. The ball got played to him on the right-hand side, and he didn't come to meet the ball. And then his first touch was poor, a bit bobbly, and he started very shakily today. And he's been one of our better players this year, Ben. So slightly surprised to see that.
There was a period where he was the only goal scorer, actually. He's up to 5 now, including a penalty against Zenit in the UEFA Youth League. It's neatly done that by Ferguson. And here's Burns again. Tight angle.
Great save.
Important stop. It was very nearly pushed into the path of Gilsman.
It was a great little run. You talked about him earlier, Sam Burns, and we were talking off air. His movement was fantastic last year in these games. And here he is now. He's a busy little striker. And he got him behind again, Mbuyamba there. And it's a great strike, exactly where you should hit it, across the goalkeeper, aiming at the far post. Teddy Sharman-Lowe gets down really well for a big guy. It's a real good save. It's a great ball. I mean, we don't put no pressure on the ball initially. It's a great little run in behind. That's a real good save early on.
We always want academies really tall keepers these days. It's almost a prerequisite. They've got to get down quick. They've got to collapse, basically, quickly. Nunn got the first header away, and then thumps it clear. Chelsea 1 down early in the sunshine at Cobham. Better from Vale, and Baker helping it on. That'll be offside, surely, for Bama here. Yeah.
That's twice. He's just made his run slightly too early, Brian Fierbeamer. I like the idea that he's trying to get in behind the defender. He's just got to hold his runs at half a yard.
It's a high line, and there is plenty of space to run into, and he's got a decent pace, so no need to go too soon. That goal he got, the equaliser in that ding-dong with Liverpool, his 3rd of the season. Brian Fierbeamer scored against West Ham as well, and against Exeter in the Football League trophy, and he's in here. McEachran. Vale. Oh, brilliant ball!
Oh, no.
How's Fierbeamer missed that? Just wonder if it's come past the keeper and it kind of put him off, but he's 6 feet out, if that. What a chance.
Well, again, it's McEachran, just plays a ball out to Harvey Vale, says, go on, son, go one-on-one with the defender, which he's done. He pulls it across with his right foot. I mean, Fierbeamer's stretching out with his left leg. You think any contact's going to take it over the line, but it spins wide of that far post.
Needed to scuff it, really, and it's in. got a solid connection. Just needed a couple of studs. Incredible. Should be one each. Should be 4 goals this season for Brian. Never mind, on we go. There's Musonda and then Baker. So good off either foot. One of those rare things, Lewis Baker, when you see a guy who'll take set plays with either boot. I don't find many people are happy to do that. I've seen him curling free kicks with his left as well as his right. That is exceedingly unusual. Happy to take corners off either boot as well. Surprises me actually, Tommy, how rare that is, but it really is. That is a sloppy ball. Mbuyamba's had a bit of a shaky start this season in general, and there's a problem here with Blackburn coming forward as Harlock pulls it back. No challenge necessary there, but there was on the shot. Well done, Josh Brooking. Got a piece of it, and it'll be another Blackburn corner.
Yeah, Mbuyamba's started, as you rightly said, a little bit shaky in a few of the games. Ironically, he was on the bench in the cup recently against Aston Villa, which again I was slightly surprised at. And again, he gives the ball away in a real bad area. They go at us. Eventually, Josh Brooking comes across and gets a block in for a corner. But as I said, we've self-destructed in a few games and given goals away. We've got to stop that.
Harlock takes it short and gets it back. Blackburn looking for a second here. That looks too deep. And then Mbuyamba with some better, stronger defending there.
Well, that's his asset, isn't he? Size, he's a big unit, and as I said, them physical challenges, I think he much prefers that.
-19-year-old Dutch defender. A little in and out. He got dropped for the Man City game, having come in after a very long time out with injury at the back end of last term, where he looked pretty accomplished very quickly, actually. But yes, he's had a few good tests, though, this season. When I say good tests, I mean difficult ones. It'll all help. Simon Lowe to George Nunn.
Go on, Sam. Better, go on, Jack. Show inside, Jack. Good. You're away, Joe. Joe, go, Joe.
None again. The long go. Done it again. Another sloppy pass. Here's Harlock. Nolan keeps it moving, albeit backwards. That ball for Chirino.
Oh, what a ball that is.
Nicely done. Beautiful weight of pass there into the sprint. This is always going to be likely to be entertaining. Blackburn's 7 matches this season have brought 34 goals, 14 for them and 20 for the Oppo. So they're averaging, at one end or the other, 5 goals a game. And this feels like one, well, we could have had 2 or 3 here already. It feels like another one of those.
Yeah, 12 minutes in, and obviously we've missed a blatant chance. They've had 1 goal and a couple of opportunities to put us under pressure. So, yeah, it feels like there's plenty of goals in this game. We saw the link-up last year, Ben Gilsman and Chirino. Chirino loves to get forward in that left-back position, and again, they linked up great there in the box. Fortunately, the final ball went to a Chelsea player, but they're a real threat down that left-hand side.
Dicey win for the first team yesterday, a fine win in the WSL. Emma Hayes and her side. The 18s were actually beaten, having won all their games this term. They've now lost back-to-back. They went down 2-1 at West Ham. So hopefully we can complete the set with at least a 3rd victory out of 4 here.
The 2 3-1s, wasn't it, for the ladies in the first team yesterday? So let's hope it's a 3-1 today. We find ourselves 1 down. Let's get 3.
What a ball that is. I think it was McEachran to Xavier Simons. That's a shame. He's better than that. What a pass to find him, though.
And that's what McEachran did last week. He absolutely was pinging balls everywhere, left to right. And he was real, as I said earlier, the playmaker. And as you say, Xavier Simons has got better quality than that.
Strikers! Be available, 20!
Any footballer of any level, I'll tell you what a frustration it is to be out long-term injured. Just when you're starting to make your name and you've been a top player for the 18s, and to be out for a year when you're that age, it must feel like forever.
Yeah, and it's a very difficult time as well. You're looking at it's never a great time, but the timing of it, as you say, you're flying, you're looking at a pro contract, and you must be on the borderline of that, and the club has to show a lot of patience as well, not knowing how you're going to recover. So it is a real tough time physically and also mentally.
Chirino with the block cross there. Things move so fast at academy level, don't they? Players will get released and new ones will come in, and maybe you get overtaken, by other people in those positions, and suddenly you're not necessarily the next cab off the rank. And when you're thinking, oh, if I have another good year, a bit of PL2, I might get a loan move to, and then suddenly a year out, and you're thinking, because it's not cutthroat, but it moves fast.
Well, it's very much cutthroat, and it's a revolving door, because behind you if you're a U17, there's a U16, and behind them there's a U15 who want to come in and take your place. And as you said, that year you lose that momentum, you lose that physical fitness, and that mental abilities maybe to go forward. Do you doubt yourself because you've had a serious injury, and all of a sudden there's a lot of things playing on your mind. So, but as I said, so far so good, because he's come back real well.
Foul by George McEachran there. He should know better than to dive in there. Just thinking that's Xavier Simon's position from academy level. You've gone Reece James, Tariq Lamptey, Tino Livramento. There always is another one coming, and of course 2 we've said goodbye to, one still very much there, albeit injured at the moment. We've got a free kick here, and Harlock's going to take it again. It's a nice bit of space to curl this into, between penalty spot and 6 yard, and that's exactly where he's put it. You can't really ask any more than that, and Brooking has managed to put it behind.
Well, Harlock will be so disappointed there's not a Blackburn boot or head on the end of this. He's hit it into a fantastic area, and nobody reacts to it at all. I mean, it's only Josh Brooking at the far post who's alert and gets it away from that danger area. Quality ball.
Got to make the runs there. That's where you're hoping the ball's going to be, and he's put it right there. So hard for a keeper to come, or a backtracking defender.
I mean, we've talked up Sam Burns, Ben, but I mean, it was his height. I mean, he's only small, but he's a pocket rocket, but he could have been on the end of that. I'm surprised he didn't make a run.
A lot of set plays for Blackburn. They've not made use of that one. Straight at the Sharman low.
Yeah, that was a poor one from Harlock. That one, his first one was superb. That was a poor ball.
It's a 4th PL2 start for Teddy Sharman Low. Hasn't played, funnily enough, youth team yet, but was loaned out last season to Burton, and has been in and around those parts with the England youth set up at St George's Park as well. Ferguson backing himself, and he's got the better of George Nunn.
Oh, he's done well.
That's a lovely ball. Gilserman has just swapped flanks here. It's a handy ricochet. And well done, Belongo.
Yeah, he's done very well there. Again, stood his ground, didn't dive in. Gilsman's trying to get a corner out of him, but the deflection goes back onto the pitch, and he stays strong, and he gets a free kick. Nice little nutmeg here, though, wasn't it, on George Nunn? He just played it through his legs here and got the other side. Again, Ferguson was very impressive last year when we saw him. The 2 fullbacks for Blackburn last year in both games were decent.
Early days, but Blackburn will be going above Chelsea in the table if they can get a win here.
Can't be offside from that.
Chucked away a 2-goal lead season opener at home to Everton. They're ahead at Man City as well, and lost that one 4-2. They're ahead against Leicester and drew. And they were 2-1 up last game at Leeds. That was a bonkers game. Scored a... Hold on a minute, Burns might be in. No, well covered. And they scored a stoppage time equaliser to make it 4-4 after they've been 2-1 up in that game as well. So they have lost a lot of leads already this season. But they are playing pretty well here. Opening 20 minutes, and it's yet another corner.
Yeah, as I say, nearly 20 minutes. We've only had one chance, but Beam has missed, a foot out. And apart from that, Blackburn have been very much in the ascendancy.
It's a deep one. It's too deep. But no messing about. That's towards the first team pitches, that one. Aiden Dowling here. Should have been beaten once, but he's barely had a touch with his gloves. That's good pressure.
That's better, though. Better energy and closing down and squeezing up higher up the pitch and not allowing Blackburn to get their foot on the ball and play the ball forward. So much better. Got in their faces there.
Strong from Simons again. Someone's got to give him an option. Not really seen Charlie Musonda on the ball at all.
No,
he's gone short here, but far too short to throw it to.
Well, I haven't seen many Chelsea players on the ball, apart from George McEachran, who's got on the ball a couple of times, hit one or two really good passes. It's been poor. Done well.
Well won, Vale. A little clip in between Beamer and Nunn. Really frustrating couple of years for Charlie Musonda. Remember when he scored that goal in the League Cup for the first team against Nottingham Forest, he was actually in tears on the pitch with joy, and he's just had almost no game time at all. Loans in Belgium, and he went up to Celtic for a bit, didn't he? Didn't really get a game for Brendan Rodgers, and just stalled a career that had so much promise. I remember him in a couple of those Youth Cup runs and those finals against Man City where thousands of fans at the Bridge were just waxing lyrical about his performance after them.
Yeah, he was unplayable, wasn't he? I mean, he was we couldn't wait for him to get in the first team and show us what he's got there. And we talked about, players stagnating and moves not being the right moves for them, and I think he epitomises all of that.
Chirina goes down just outside the box.
That is a very fine line there, but I'm not so sure. Again, there was contact from Josh Brooking, but really he's gone down very easy here. But again, it's Chirino getting down. The link up again with Gilsman, superb. Goes one-on-one with Josh here. Drives into the edge of the box. I'm not so sure that isn't in the box,
I think it's in the box.
But again, contact was minimal. He's gone down very easy, but I think we got lucky with the actual position of the free kick there.
But weren't moaning about it, and I'm slightly surprised. That did look like contact inside. But anyway, it's still fairly dangerous. Obviously not as dangerous as a penalty, but apparently 6 inches outside the box. Not so sure about that, but we'll take it. Harlock is there again, and these are dangerous. Horrible angle. You don't face these that often from this close in, actually. And with everyone so deep and near the goal line, any touch could be deadly off either side. So whip it in there. That's absolutely the thing to do, isn't it? Percentage hooked over the bar by Louis Annesley, I think, the captain, and Chelsea get away with it. That's a bullet dodge because that was awkward.
Yeah, again, it's Harlock. He pings this in. I mean, he really gives plenty of pace. I mean, to be fair, Teddy Sharman-Lowe has plenty of bodies in his way, so he just gets a hand on in there, flicks it into a dangerous area, but the ball comes over the bar from the deflection. I think it was
Burns.
Sam Burns, yeah, who's always nice and alert in there from them second balls.
Horrible to defend against those. Not something you'd have a ton of practice of either.
No, and you normally complain about the goalkeeper there, but it came through all the bodies, Ben. He got a good strong hand on it. And as I said, we got lucky with the ricochet.
Right. We need to see McEachran and Baker getting a grip in the middle third for a start, and that should be able to bring in those ahead of them. But at the moment, Blackburn right in this zone here, absolutely bossing it, and that is a lovely idea. Just too much on the Harlock pass to Gilseman, but beautiful thought process, and he played the right ball outside of the boot. Tough one.
Well, it's a hard ball to hit with the outside of the boot, and just the pace beat the striker Gilsman as he's making the run. We saw early in the first half there that the ball into Burns that went in behind Mbiamba when he got the strike across, and Teddy Sharman-Lowe made a great save. Again, Sharman-Lowe quick off his line, and snuffs the danger away. But they love to make them little darting runs in behind for them sort of 10, 15-yard balls in behind the centre halves. And got to get more pressure on the ball, Ben, you know.
In relative experience terms, McEachran, Baker and co, they're going to have to take it a bit more by the scruff of the neck and start demanding the ball and being perhaps a bit more forceful in there. But Blackburn making the running, looking the more hungry and creating far more chances. It could be worse than 1-0 in truth.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to start bossing the game. I mean, we made the point a couple of times already, 23 minutes in, about the experience we got in that midfield area. McEachran, Baker, Musonda, all had first-team football at various levels. And they've got to get on the ball. Added to that, Harvey Val has been our king man this year. And apart from that one move where he got past the defender and hit a great ball in the box, he's not been sighted either. So it's been a poor 24, 25 minutes so far.
I don't think he'll be overly impressed with this so far.
Stand still! Right, you're not shutting it off, don't go, wait. Step.
Closing down from Val, but his was the final touch. This was Andy Myers on the closing down, or the lack of it a moment ago. That would sum it up, Tommy.
Yeah, well, there's been no energy in midfield. I mean, apart from that last one there where Harvey Val's run 15 yards to close down the captain, Louis Annesley. We haven't got in their faces at all. And as I said, if you allow, technically we'll be better players than Blackburn, but if you allow them to play, they can boss the game as they've done for this 25 minutes.
Sonda, that was neat footwork in a tight squeeze. More space this way. Belongo under pressure immediately. Just forcing it a bit there though. Josh Brookie, I think it was, with that pass.
Yeah, it was.
To do that.
No, I mean, I think we've hit 4 or 5 balls up towards Fairbeamer, and he's not got on any of them, and it's not his fault. I mean, he's made a couple of runs for them, and the balls have been nowhere near him. That's brilliant.
Ferguson, good again. Durant gets it out there. And there's that little double teaming going on again. Guzman and a lively Chirino, underlap, overlap. You can use them without using them, of course. And Harlock, that little inside ball, we've seen that a couple of times. Beautifully played. Trouble here, Harlock with the shot. Sharman low at the moment. You'd expect him to save that, but his saves have kept Chelsea at only 1 down.
Yeah, very much. Their movement's killing us. I mean, the little 1-2s, the movement off the ball, the little darting run again in behind the Biamba. And it's Harlock again making a great run in. As you say, keeper should save at the near post, but Sharman Lowe has to get down and get it away. And the movement is really disrupting our back three at the moment.
Well, you find it hard to believe how well they've played in this game, that they've not won a game yet.
Do you know, Mike Sherrin, the coach there, he'll be absolutely ecstatic with the movement up front, because he was a striker himself, and you know, obviously from that point of view, he'll be very happy. One thing a bit disappointing, 27 minutes, and they're only 1-0 up, because they've had opportunities to make this 2 or 3.
Moved up from the youth team.
That's better.
Harvey Vale on, Gilson, well done.
Got to move the ball quicker. It's just taking us. There's not lack of options for the players at the moment. We're just not moving the ball quick enough out because of the lack of options. Masonda's done well there. A tight situation, got his foot on the ball, but again ends up playing the ball, you know, backwards to Mbiamba.
Sort of aimless, longish balls that in fairness to Brian Fearbama, he can't do anything with, really. I mean, even if he wins that, there's no one up near him anyway.
Exactly, it's a 40-yard ball, and if he wins it, he's got no support. If he flicks it, there's nobody making the second run, and the actual system isn't working today. It's been as less effective as I've ever seen it at PL2 level. Added to that, Ben, I mean, Ashley Phillips and Lou Annesley are both big guys. Look at the 5 and the 6, they're both big physical guys, and, you know, you've got to hit Fearbama with better balls than that.
I'll go back to Baker now. He's got time here.
Jake comes out, you get in there then.
Better.
Simon's progressive run up from right wing back. Guzman being pushed the other way for once. Vale's pinged it in. Oh, keeper's spilled it. He's had so little to do there, Aidan Dowling. He almost got caught underneath that.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I think there was a bit more pace on the ball than he anticipated. He got right underneath it. Fortunately for his point of view, he stuck an arm up and managed to sort of pat it down and pick up the second ball. But you're right about your comment there. I mean, Xavier Simon's getting in behind and forcing Gilsman back into areas he doesn't want to be, and that's what we've got to do. It's make it tougher.
He's played advantage there, and Mbuyamba with a bit of a barge coming to win a ball he was never going to win. Moved that nicely, and Harlock has been key to it. Played that very well, and he's got it back here. This is some move, this, from Blackburn. If there's a goal on the end of it, fair play. Well, that wasn't the best ball. More up than out by Mbuyamba. Now, Lewis Baker.
I have to say, that's not the worst ball Harvey Vale's ever played. And Lewis Baker made the run and decided to stop. But had he continued with it, he probably would have got on the end of it. And that's what's happened so many times today in 30 minutes. People that have started the run, people have hit the ball, and they've stopped for some reason. And it is a very frustrating half an hour so far.
Teasing ball down the line, he's made it work there. Garrett brushed off Brooking. Chelsea living rather dangerously. A third of this game gone. I think the best thing you could say is it's only 1-0, frankly, because it could be 1 or 2 more. Better football coming from Blackburn in the early penalty as well.
Yeah, and you've just seen the centre half there breaking forward. He's actually on the edge of our box, and Belongo's got a decision to make.
Well, they're calling out for a penalty. They're not going to get it. There's no Mike Dean in Martin Atkinson's ear to make him change his mind here.
Again, Belongo got caught a little bit, the young sub, and they got him behind him there and driven at that near post. It looks like it was a ricochet which took it across the goal. Fortunately, no Blackburn shirt there to touch it in, but they're getting him behind us far too much for my liking.
Trying to help it down the line for Nunn.
Yeah, I thought Harlock, as he's played there, Harlock's continued and fouled him on this side here, so it was a good decision from the referee.
Bale. Into Fearbama. He did have support that came from Musonda. Bale again. Does ping it with that left boot. We saw that cross that burst through the gloves a moment ago. His left foot has just scuffed one there. But some people just have more natural power somehow. They get their foot behind the ball in a different way. I was thinking about it with Ruben Loftus-Cheek yesterday, another academy graduate, of course. In the Southampton game, he just hit a half volley on the bounce. He just hit it in such a true way. Only just missed the angle of post and bar. You know, one of those ones when it gets hit, it really stays hit. It's just such a solid connection. That happens a lot with Harvey Vale. He's got that sweet technique, that sweet hit. Let's have a look at this again as Burns got in behind Belongo.
He's really busy, and again, I think we get lucky there because Josh Brooking gets out of the way, and Burns is expecting the challenge. It screws across the near post there, and there's not a Blackburn shirt at the far post to touch it in. But again, we got lucky. We got to ping that ball out. There's no pace on the passing, you know.
Trickling across.
It's trickling, you know. We're giving Blackburn a chance to adjust their positions, and again, it's a long ball from George McEachran here. Fearbeam was in a physical battle. Centre half's done well, but I don't mind that. At least he had a chance of getting onto it, and we got a throw on in the final third.
Well, that's it, isn't it? When it's floated up there and there's no support, that's a different thing altogether. But there's that Harvey Vale banging it in there, nearly causing Dowling a bit of a problem. Charlie Musonda a little more stuck in there. Need more of that. Durant, Garrett, Baker. Good tackle, George McEachran. Need more of that going on from those central players there. And things like this can spring from it. Oh, just cut out on its way too.
That's good tackle. Oh, that's a great... What are you doing, referee?
He's getting his card out, I think. No, maybe not.
I think
Xavier Simons is saying I got the ball.
Card.
He is getting his card out.
Are you mad? I mean, this is a...
Oh, unless he's
giving him a yellow card then.
Unless it's the... I was just wondering if for a moment he was waiting for the Blackburn player to get up and give him the card, but no, I think you're right. I think it's Xavier Simons. Treatment first.
Well, unless he's seen this wrong, I think it's a fantastic challenge. I think he makes contact with the ball. Yes, he's going to make contact with the player a little bit, but I don't know what he's explaining to Xavier Simons here. He thinks he's made a great challenge.
Let's have another look. He's followed his pass here.
He's won the ball. He's won the ball cleanly, Ben.
I just wonder if he took the leg and then got the ball. I'm just trying to think of what the referee might have seen that as, but he's definitely in the book. Looked fair enough to go in for. And they do jump on you now if you go to ground, don't they? Saw, James Ward-Prowse yesterday on the edge of the D at Stamford Bridge. He was definitely trying to win that ball off Jorginho, but he got leg first for sure. Got upgraded from or downgraded, depending on your point of view. Yellow to red. It's, yeah, all the old cliches apply about non-contact sport and all that. That's Sharman Lowe. Well done with his bearings there. Couldn't really take the risk of waiting that extra split second to get the gloves on it.
But again, it's just a simple ball played over the defender's head here. There's no pressure on the ball. It's a ball played over Embry-Amber. And it actually stands up, doesn't zip through. And as you said, Sharman Lowe reacts very well to it. There's been a slight change of personnel on the left-hand side. Harvey Vale's come over here and George Nunn's gone to the right. So hopefully it might create a few more opportunities.
Fairbaima can make that stick if he can. Good ball pinged into Musonda, who took it well. That's better. There's the switch. Simons is off and running. None had switched sides, it's just over Fairbaima, but at least he was in with a chance. Here's Baker. Got to come out with the ball, and he does. Well done, Lewis Baker. Well, that's more like it, even if the shot was lacking his usual technique.
Yeah, it shows some good strength there, didn't he? 3 Blackburn players around him, but he shrugged them off and got in a position where he could have a strike, and unfortunately he scuffed it a little bit straight through to the keeper, but much better from Lewis Baker there.
Pressure on the ball here. Just for a moment, they hold off the squeeze. Not the worst thing, just have a bit of time knocking it about, actually. Belongo into Vale. Baker.
Great ball.
That's more like it. Nunn and Vale They have switched. George Nunn's popped up on that side a couple of times now. I don't know if that's a permanent thing or just a circumstantial. Space for Mbuyamba to run into or pass. He's gone with the latter. Belongo, Vale. Sonda.
Oh. See the frustration Andy Myers saying, Muzi, you know, move it. I think he's running with it there. But again, still think he's looking for options. But Blackburn has got a great shape. They've got all their bodies back. Look, his head's up. He's looking for options. Nobody there, and eventually gets a foul.
Just take a slight risk with those. He was basically doing one of those I'll make the refs mind up for him by stopping. And the whistle hadn't actually gone when Charlie went, well, I'll have a free kick for that. But sometimes it doesn't come. Noticeable. Blackburn have just dropped off, perhaps happily doing so, forcing an overhit pass like that.
Yeah, they had everybody back in their own half there, and as I said, they didn't bother to squeeze the ball. They let the back three have it, and as Mbuyamba hit a hopeful 50-yard ball to Belongo on the left-hand side, overhit it, goes off for a throw, and I think they just said this, and you know, if you're going to break us down, you're going to have to do something different, and there's nobody looking like on the ball. They're going to go past anybody and really create an opportunity.
You feel that Sonda and Vale have certainly got that in the locker. One through just nice fleet feet, one through, well, Harvey Vale's got good feet too, but he's got more physical power to sort of do the Loftus-Cheek past someone, so to speak.
Totally agree.
Not seen it from either of them really. Lewis Baker corner here, and he'll have another go. See if Chelsea can pinch something before the interval, even if hand on heart you couldn't necessarily say it would be deserved, but since when does that matter in football?
Well, it might be a set piece that gets us back in, Ben, as you rightly say, from free play. We're not really creating anything, so the set piece can open the door.
Plenty going on in the 6-yard box. That's a decent ball into Mbuyamba, and it'll be hopefully third time lucky. Ball's gone off towards the road in between the academy pitch and the first team pitches. Fia Bama, hopefully legally blocking Dowling. Bit deeper this time. It's a good corner, that. But somewhere in the middle of that, there was a Chelsea push, I guess. And Josh Brooking just holding the back of his head for a minute there. Good corner, though. Really whipped it in. Yeah,
in a great position as well. And I think also there was a lot of contact between Fia Bima and the goalkeeper. And they're always going to give a free kick to the goalkeeper on them situations. You can see who's actually pushing him back. So I think that's why it was given. And whilst there's a lot of bodies on the floor, I think it was the initial contact between striker and keeper.
Almost certainly was. And it's just not worth doing it, because while the refs are trying to see any pushing and shoving, the first thing their eyes naturally go to is anything happening to the keeper here? You're better off trying to block off a defender than block off the goalkeeper. It's a needless challenge on Burns. 3 minutes to half-time, and Blackburn still have the lead that he gave them from the spot early on. There's been one standout Chelsea chance, that's it. Brian Fia Bama from no distance at all, somehow diverting it wide. But it could be worse. And that's going to be another free kick in another dangerous area. Just a lot of cheap fouls, Tommy.
Well, it's a lazy challenge from George.
It's not been a good first half.
It's been poor. There's been no energy in our midfield, and we've looked very lacklustre. And again, it's a lazy leg from George McEachran there. He's better than that. And, you know, it's a simple free kick decision for the referee to give.
And he's telling Harvey Vale, who's far junior to George, that I can't have any more of that from him. The other silly thing about that there, it's very unlike George McEachran, is George Nunn is right there to make the challenge behind him. It's not like the bloke's going through one-on-one or something, then fine, you bring him down. But, you know, that situation was pretty much in hand. George Nunn was there, would have made a tackle about 1 second later, and now this is far more dangerous than that probably would have been, with just a couple of minutes to half-time. Another Blackburn set play in a really dangerous position. Could be a shot, could be a cross, could be both, and it nearly was one of those awkward ones the keeper can't really go for, even though he wants to, because there might be a touch. Joe Nolan nearly in there.
So much pace on the ball here. Again, it's Harlock. What a set piece he hits in here. And it's one of them, come and finish me. You see the big centre-half tries to get there. It just fades right wide of that far post. And a great free kick, and fortunately for Chelsea, again, no one really attacked it.
Give them away at your peril. Certainly don't do so cheaply, because we've seen enough of Harlock's delivery in this first half. That's 3 beauties he's put in. 44 on the clock, and Blackburn finishing the half strongly. Burns nearly picked out the underlapping run of, that was Chirino doing a Marcus Alonso there, coming into the box. I think Burns was actually offside.
Yeah, I think Chirino's made the run in there and flicked it with the outside of his left foot, and as Burns has made the run. And but even then, the left back's gone for the second ball, gone for the 1-2. But as I said, Burns just drifted offside.
Vierbeemer keeping Phillips honest and making him go safety first. Just time to pinch an equaliser before the interval here. Check the watch there, the referee.
Go on, keep him this way, Zach, good!
Nunn and Vale definitely swapped on a permanent basis here. Simons.
Great ball.
All the way through the Vale. Might have thought about it first time. He's drilled it that time, and again you see he generates a lot of power from not much backlift. You can't really teach that.
No, I mean, again, it's a great ball down from the right-hand side. Xavier Simons pings a great ball. We've got lack of bodies in the box, but it falls at the far post to Harvey Vale, and he strikes it really well. Obviously, it's a hard angle to beat the keeper from. He tries to do it with power, and that takes it over the bar. But a better move, and again, it's the right-hand side, Xavier Simons being involved.
And your PL2 captain is barely 18. Just a couple of weeks ago, Harvey, the boy became a man, and he strikes it like a man, that's for sure. He's got serious power in that left boot. He's put it to good use so far this term, scored some decent goals, couple of penalties as well. Brooking puts it out, we're into the one added minute, I think that'll be it. He's checked the watch there, really much point in starting it again, and given where the ball is, I hope he doesn't. Blackburn are very quick, they might get something into the box. Well, probably not. Well, there's the whistle, and it brings to an end a tough half, and the best thing I think you could say about it from Chelsea's perspective, not been without threat, but it is only 1-0 down, because it could easily have been more. An early penalty from Sam Burns, Andy Myers and John Harley, I should think, might be upping the volume a bit in the home changing room during this interval they've got, because Blackburn are ahead, and Blackburn are deservedly ahead at Cobham. It is 1-0 with 45 down and 45 to go. Well, the action didn't take long to start. Two sides whose matches have not produced a lot of wins for either, but have produced a lot of goals and a fair few penalties, it has to be said. And there was one here 3.5 minutes in. Harvey Vale connecting here with Garrett. No doubt about that one, Tommy.
No doubt. He swings a right foot. His first touch is poor and takes it back into the Garrett's path, and he nicks it off of him. And it's a good penalty from Burns. We saw it last year. He's a decent finishing young man, and he tucks it away nicely. And last 3 games, Ben, we found ourselves a goal down within 6-7 minutes, and we got to stop doing that.
Yes, it has kept on happening. And in this game, just really all over the park, certainly through the middle third. Chelsea weren't able to get a grip. This was Burns again, forcing a good stop from Teddy Sharman low. Yeah, it's a simple ball in Biamba there, and again, Burns does really well, aims it at the right area. Sharman low gets down real well and tucks it away, but that's a simple ball played in behind, a simple run, a straight run, and he just pings it where he should, and it's a good save from the keeper. Well, there have been a couple of standout opportunities for Chelsea, this being the clearest of them. Good work from Harvey Vale, And Brian Fearbema, if he had that chance again 10 times, I would suggest at least 9 of them would go in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you watch it again and again and again, it's hard to know that how he's got it wide, because you know, he's right in the middle of the goal there, and it sort of spins wide of that far post. But great play from Harvey Val.
Jared Harlock has been excellent in this game, Blackburn's number 7, starting that move there and very nearly finishing it.
Yeah, again, them little darting runs, we've seen them twice already from Burns. This one from Haaland, it's a great little run in behind. The angle doesn't favour him, he hits the target, but keeper does really well there.
This is Xavier Simons, who's not had a bad half, getting in across Harvey Val. Good wallop, just a bit too high from Chelsea's top scorer.
Yeah, just before half-time would be nice to get on the score sheet there, Harvey Val. Again, Simons, as you rightly said, down the right-hand side. Great ball played in, good first touch, gets it out of his feet, smashes it, but can't get it onto the target.
Well, the good news is Blackburn have chucked away leads in 4 of their matches this season. They haven't won yet, and they'll know that. Maybe there'll be a bit of nerves if Chelsea come on stronger, and I'm sure they will after the break. We're just going to switch to first-team duty now and bring you the highlights of a really weird game of football at Stamford Bridge yesterday. It ended up with a good result. It wasn't necessarily the greatest Chelsea performance, but it was 3-1 over the Saints. Here are the best bits.
Loftus-Cheek got a touch on that, and there's Trevor Chalobah to head it in for 1-0 to Chelsea. He scored at the Bridge again. What a start to the season this young man is having. Here's the new man Diallo. Livramento. Oh, it's a poor challenge from Chilwell, and it's a penalty. And it's the former Chelsea man Tino Livramento who tied him up in knots, and Chilwell committed himself. Shortish run up. Can Mendy help Chilwell out? Sent the wrong way, never in doubt, was it? James Ward-Prowse makes it Chelsea 1, Southampton 1.
Spinner. One, dare say one mistake, but one bit of skill. Oh, that's a bad challenge. That's a yellow card.
Right through the back of Jorginho.
That's a poor challenge, that is.
I can say with some certainty, Clive, that I think James Ward-Prowse is about to be sent off.
Here we go. He's off. He's going for his pocket.
It is a red card for James Ward-Prowse. Barkley, oh, clever ball. Oh, brilliant! What a sensational goal! Timo Werner tucks it in. That was magnificent. Mount, another clever run from him. Oh, great! Ross Lukaku's Azpilicueta's hit the bar. Chilwell back right off the post again. What on earth is going on here? Oh, the referee's given the goal. It crossed the line from Chilwell. This is unbelievable. What an extraordinary end to the game we're getting here.
Well, that third Chelsea goal there from Ben Chilwell really did sum up a match that was just crazy, really from start to finish, Tommy. Not the greatest Chelsea performance, interesting officiating, all sorts of things. In fairness, for and against. Southampton might have grievance. Chelsea would have some grievance. Funny old game.
Crazy game. I have to say the end products was what we wanted. What was after a real tough week, Man City, Juventus, 3 points were important, and then when you see what happened at Old Trafford, and you know that makes it even more important. But yeah, I mean, some unbelievable refereeing decisions. The goal that was disallowed by Werner, I'm not sure. First of all, it was a foul by Azpilicueta. Second thing is, I'm not sure what phase Werner actually scored in, because my understanding is that's been the phase where the goal scored. So how they break that down, I don't know. But I think the gentleman at the other end, Mike Dean's never done us any favours. So we didn't expect any yesterday. But you know, when you grind results out, it makes it even more important. As I said, there's a big game today. Liverpool, Manchester City. Somebody's going to drop points. Hopefully both of them. A draw would be nice, and we'll maintain our top of the league position. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a classic, but end product, 3 points. Happy days.
Neither side played that well, but it did make for serious entertainment. Timo Werner's first Premier League goal, incidentally, since February. He has now had 16 chalked off, either by VAR or at the time by officials. That is incredible. He's only been here barely a year. But, as Tommy said, it's worked out in a funny way with last weekend. Southampton held Manchester City. United lost to Villa. United drawing yesterday. Liverpool chucked it away against Brentford. And the Blues, for now at least, are top of the table. Speaking of table toppers, Emma Hayes has been used to that for a long time. I mean, trying to recover from a shock defeat on the opening day of the WSL season. The latest outing for the women of Chelsea was against Brighton. And let's have a look at the main moments of that yesterday. Another 3-1.
Kirkdijk can bring it out of defence for Brighton and Hove Albion. Here's Letitia. Ooh, not going to get away with that against Pernille Harder. And look at that for way to pass right for Sam Kerr, who can finish it surely. Well, the only surprise is that the net isn't bulging. That's the kind of chance that Sam Kerr would normally gobble up. And Kirby up there with her, chose to go alone. Oh, that's short. Harder might nick it again. Will be a Chelsea throw. Aaron Cuthbert looking to take it quickly. That's clever from the Scot. Good run from Harder too. Here's Kirby. Can she get the shot off? She's unselfish instead and tees up Guru Wrighton to put Chelsea 1-0 in front. It's the Norwegian who gets the first goal of the game. It's taken less than 10 minutes to arrive. And it's Chelsea 1, Brighton 0. Opportunity for the equaliser here. Only a well-placed Magda Eriksson. Denied Whelan. Found herself all alone, Aileen Whelan, just for a minute. Kirkdijk. That's a poor pass. Here's Kirby. Got Harder up there with her. Now Wrighton for her second. Kicked away by Walsh. And eventually behind for a corner. And she looks in the mood this afternoon, Guru Wrighton. Carter. Stabbed into Ward. Kerr, who had to be brave, put her head in where it could have hurt, and she's got her reward. Sam Kerr gets the goal this time. No prizes for guessing who gets the assist. It's Kirby and Kerr linking up again. And Chelsea have got a bit of daylight now. They lead Brighton and Hove Albion by 2-0. Feel they need to score the next goal in the game. They might be about to do that with Dan Carter. They have. Well, game on all of a sudden. 3 minutes after the restart, Brighton back in it. Watching brief Lauren James and Maren Mjelde today. Now Kirby. England up there with her. What an introduction to the game this would be for Bethany England, who fires it into the roof of the net and gives Chelsea their 2-goal cushion back. She's been on the pitch for all of 3 minutes. And England may have won this game. Kirby with another assist. England with the thumping finish.
It's been a good response from the women to that shock opening defeat to Arsenal. WSL terms, we expect the highest of standards. And in terms of the first team, well, it's an international break now. Brentford next up. That won't be easy. Way both they and the Blues have been playing. Coming up on the 5th stand on the 16th of October, that is. Join us from just before 4:30. That is the Saturday after next. It's Brentford, then it's Norwich. There is Malmo in between. They feel like winnable games. Let's hope so. In fairness, between these international breaks, Tommy, between September and October where we are now, you know, there's been Tottenham away, there's been Juve, there's been Man City. There's some tough games in there, in fairness, so good to come out of it with a win yesterday and going into what looks like a friendlier run. You think we've done Anfield, City, Spurs away, Arsenal away.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think the away games in particular, obviously, getting the point to Anfield was crucial with the 10 men, and obviously the 2 wins at Arsenal and Tottenham respectively have been brilliant. But listen, I think it's hard to go to Brentford at the moment. I saw again them play Liverpool the other Saturday, and they were very impressive. Obviously, they've beaten Arsenal first game of the season, but everyone was beating Arsenal at that stage anyway, so it didn't. We didn't really realise how good they were, but they're playing some very attractive football. They're doing it in a real nice way, and I don't think it's going to be easy going there. And it's a very tight stadium, new stadium, but tight. I think it's going to be a tough fixture. But then, you look at Norwich and people like, you should be beating them. You're right. And Malmo in the Champions League now with Juventus beating us this week is even more crucial.
Not long after that, there's Watford. If you've missed the news that's just been breaking this morning, it's not that much of a surprise. They've sacked their manager. Xisco Munoz has gone, and apparently the Tinker Man is in line to replace him. Claudio Ranieri may be coming back. One end of the experience scale. At the other, we have Lewis Hall there, who looks like he may be coming on. Love to see Claudio again. But honestly, you mentioned revolving doors at a PL2 level. Watford's managerial hot seat is hysterical, isn't it? I think it's only Nottingham Forest have been through more bosses than them in the last few years.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're hoping for the same sort of reaction of the players to Nottingham Forest sacking Chris, because they won 3-0 at Birmingham yesterday, and I think they've won both games since. But whoever goes there, it's a poison chalice. It's a tough gig keeping them up this year. We've seen Norwich get their first point yesterday. It's for them clubs. It's always going to be a battle to stay in the Premiership, and whoever takes the job has got a tough one ahead.
Lewis Hall there was the goal-scoring hero. He's had quite a season, actually. He started off just being a regular for the 18s and a very important player generally through central midfield for them, but since then he's had some PL2 starts and he's looked decent in them. He scored that goal. He's played against Arsenal, he played at City. He did actually score an own goal in that Arsenal game, but I thought he played really well otherwise. It looks like he's definitely coming on. And I can't say I'm overly surprised, Tommy, that Andy Myers is making some changes, because he's got to shake it up somehow.
Well, I think he would have rattled a few cages in there at half-time, and Andy's not a man to be to mix around with. And I thought the performance was lacklustre. It lacked energy, it lacked ambition, and we needed to get our better bodies on the ball. But I'm not sure they really wanted to get on in. Musonda, a little flick here, little flick there. Lewis Baker, a couple of long passes. George McEachran the same. But I didn't think they was impacting the game as they should with their ability. So not surprised that Andy has shook it up a little bit. And I think the young player Belongo will make way for Lewis Hall. It's natural player for player. And I see Dion Rankins also sort of changed. So let's see who he comes on for. But no, he had to shake it up. I'm not surprised that he's made the decision at half-time to get a few bodies on and see if we can change this equation.
Well, there is Dion Rankin, one of the older youngsters, if you like, which isn't saying much at this level. He and Lewis Hall incoming, and George Nunn is off, so that'll be a straight swap as a wing back, or at least someone wide, depending. We'll see if Andy's changed the shape, but he can absolutely play on that right wing side for sure. And Lewis Hall for Brian Belongo is the other change. So that's 2 made at half-time. And it's not about that those individuals didn't necessarily play that well in the first half. A bit of a change of attitude, and need the more senior players there to really get a grip of it, I think. I would imagine that Andy and John and co have been demanding a bit more of Baker, Musonda, McEachran, those three, and saying, come on guys, you played more senior football than anyone on this pitch. Start showing it.
Well, start having an influence in the game in a positive manner. I mean, you see George McEachran give a couple of silly sloppy free kicks away, and that's not what he does. He's a very talented footballer, and when he gets on the ball, he makes things happen. And you've seen Dion Rankin's just going to filter into this right-hand side, and I'm sure Lewis Baker will play midfield as he did before with Lewis Hall playing on the left-hand side. But we saw against Liverpool, Lewis Hall popping up in the 95th minute, Ben, and getting a goal. Let's hope he can do the same today.
Rankin straight away onto the front foot. Simons with the cross. Musonda was the target, well cut out there. They had plenty of bodies back, Blackburn. That's already a nice bit of impetus from Chelsea in the opening minute.
Yeah, down the right-hand side. We saw George Nunn at the end of the first half on the right-hand side, and he's always going to cut in on his left foot. Better link-up play on this right-hand side, and again, an opportunity Chelsea early on.
Leave the keeper alone. Have another go from the corner. Low. Not ideally cleared. Vale jumps and misses it. Two subs there. Rankin getting it to McEachran, and now Vale, and George McEachran again. And Yamba. That's cut out by Chirino. This is more like it. Front foot, and Blackburn pinned in a bit in these opening moments. Musonda. Burns with the touch. Blackburn trying to get out. Look out, there's a ball on here.
Oh, no.
Burns has played it. Harlock will get there. Thankfully, it wasn't a better ball than that.
Well, he just overhit it, but again, it's a spare man in the middle of the pitch. If the ball's better, he's one-on-one with Teddy Sharman low. And again, for all the pressure we've had in this opening 2 minutes, it could have been another goal down. And but at least we started brightly in this second half.
Bouncing ball, solid connection from Sharman low. I think Lewis Hall is the left of the back three, or a left back?
Well, I think he'll do both. I think when it comes down this right-hand side, he'll be getting forward like he did again to score the goal against Liverpool, which won us the game. But obviously in front of him is Harvey Vale, so that space is actually blocked a little bit at the moment. So I think he'll do his defensive duties, but get forward as often as he can. Because more often than not, you see Harvey Vale drifting in as well. He does drift into them central areas.
Chirino should have been receiving that, and he's been pinged at him by his captain there. It wasn't a good pass.
Well, it wasn't, but at least we were putting him under pressure. And, you know, as I said, it was a poor ball forward, and we get possession. And we didn't do that often enough in the first half. It was far too comfortable for the boys at the back to ping balls over the heads of our defenders.
Confirmation of the change team there with Rankin and Hall on. Also on the bench, Lucas Bergstrom, the keeper, as many of you all know. Brody Hughes, a young defender, and Jude Soonsup-Bell, the top scorer from the youth team last term. I thought we might have seen a bit more of actually in the PL2 this season, but we haven't. He's played a bit, but I thought he might well be the regular starting centre forward. That hasn't actually been the case.
No, and I think Andy's made these changes very early, but if there's another one to be made, it will be Jude Soonsup-Bell to come on if it remains 1-0 down, because as you said, he's likely to get an opportunity, and if he does, he's a good finisher.
Did get a start against Arsenal. It's the first time I've really not seen him bring his shooting boots. He had a couple of great chances in that. He did hit the bar as well, but he also had a couple of other chances that the sort he was gobbling up last time. He got 19 goals across the competitions last season, due to Soonsup-Bell. There was a bit of talk that he was going to be involved for the Luton FA Cup game end of January. He was next cab off the rank had there been one more withdrawal, so he might have even seen a bit of first team picture there, but one step at a time. And Andy Myers is not a man you'd want to make angry, but he doesn't look overly thrilled.
No, as I said, I'm sure you rattled a few cages in that half-time chat. And whilst they started brightly for 2 or 3 minutes, obviously that ball from Sam Burns, had it been better through to Harlock, we could have been 2-0 down. So sort of dodged the bullet there, but looks like we've gone back into our lull and lack of pace after a bright start.
It's good from Vale. Musonda had to try and help it on quickly. He was under pressure very quickly, and he's given it back to Blackburn. Not that it was an easy ball for him to deal with. Torino cutting infield from Rankin, who's got the better of him, and then well across. Didn't see enough of those tackles coming in, actually, in the first half.
You didn't see enough of the pressure from Dion Rankin. You're absolutely right, Ben, and that was the reason Torino lost control of the ball and George McEachran was able to come across and nick it. And we didn't put enough pressure and didn't get in their faces enough in that first half. We've started better in the second half, as I said, but that, again, an aimless ball up front. Fear Beamer, for all his hard work and runs, he's not going to get on the end of that.
They'll do the closing down there, that again has almost brought a slip from Annesley, actually. Quite right, but that's why you do it, because the next time it will, or the time after that. Brooking. That'll do. Beamer. Go on, done well. He's going to have to drive now. Accept the throw.
Yeah, he's done well eventually. I mean, again, 3 bodies around him, got a throw one out of it, but I'd love to see him get the ball out of his feet there and just test the pace of the centre-back. We haven't done that enough, driving into them areas and make them make mistakes.
Scored as a sub at Blackburn, the end of last season. Brian Fear-Beamer got the start today. Hall. Baker. Not a safe passing from Lewis Baker today. So he was trying to look for something else to do there, but it just wasn't really on. Nice take, nice ball. Fear-Beamer was hoping a run had been made. That's not the first time today we've seen that.
No, but I just think Brian has to get hold of that and let people join in. There was nobody making runs off of him. I don't know what he saw there, what picture he saw when he played the ball, but for me, he's got to hold on to that and let people join in. You see Charlie Musonda's position now. He's going to sort of sit in behind him there and try and link up with him, but again, that's not worked so far.
Yes, that was a time for a bit of Lukaku pinning, a bit like he did to Pablo Mari at Arsenal. Just get your bum in there and wait, lay it off.
And, you know, even if you get free kicks, I mean, Mari just fell over. But he didn't want any sort of physical challenge. But, you know, you just got, as you say, pin centre halves and be strong.
Simons. Teasing ball, had Rankin interested, and he's got it second time around here, Dion Rankin, the substitute. Baker.
Got to get more pace in this game. This is not going to break them down passing the ball around. I know we've got to be patient, but, you know, we need to do a little bit more dynamic as Josh Brooking is now. That's a free kick. Going back to the shape-up so quickly, Dion Rankin's come on in the second half and he's pushed Torino back. We saw in the first half he was getting forward a lot. And with Dion in his face there and taking him towards his own goal now, I think we'll see less of the left back, which obviously will aid our cause because he's been quite effective in that first half. What's the chat with Lewis?
A little bit of extra oomph from Chelsea since the restart, and it was necessary. It's good gutsy play here, Harvey Vale, and a chance to deliver. Lewis Baker. Plenty to aim at in blue. It's too close to the keeper. Good power, good curve, but it needed to start about 10 feet left of that.
Yeah, he did. You could see what he was intending to get it in that space that was sort of in behind, penalty spottish, but as you said, he overhit it.
Well, I promised you goals at the start of this, folks, and we got one early. Keep the faith. 35 goals in Blackburn matches already this season. 7 before this. They'd not won any. They might start to get a little more nervy if they're thinking, right, we're finally going to win a game. That's a good touch, effortless from Lewis Baker.
Well, I've been spoilt, Ben. The last 2 games I've done, there's been 14 goals. Unfortunately, one was 6-1 against us, but 4-3 Liverpool. So again, it's been fun to watch, but today not so much.
Ball with the throw. Fiyabema strong enough there, despite constantly being fouled, but good advantage played.
He's in.
Cross from Simons. Shame.
Yeah, keeper does well, to be fair. Commands his box. Aidan Dowell in there comes out and snatches it away. Better striker play from Fiyabema, though. As you said, it should have been a free kick, but he held his ground and backed into the defender as we asked him to just now.
Rankin helps it on, gets it back from Baker. Rankin again. I keep saying it, too close to the keeper, but at least the balls are coming in the box. We get a bit more quality on those. There's enough runners coming forward. The equaliser might materialise.
This is where he does well. I mean, his striker's got, actually, to be fair, it's 6.5 a dozen. If you look at he's actually got the centre half, Ashley Phillips' shirt as well. But at least it was nice and strong there, held on to it, did a decent job.
Here's Burns.
Get in the box, get in the box.
Get in the box is the call from the Blackburn bench. Gilseman has managed to do it and get it in there. There are Chelsea bodies around. Good strike. Did it take a nick? It did, yeah. I think that was Ferguson up from right back, and maybe it was Harlock, but it definitely took a nick on the way through. Hence, it'll be another Blackburn corner.
Yeah, it was Ferguson who had the strike. Again, it's the winger. Gilsman gets in. He plays a great little ball to the edge of the box here. A good first touch. Just lays it off nicely. It is the right back who strikes. I think it's Lewis Baker gets his body in the way and deflects it off for a corner.
Chirino. Dangerous cross, just a bit too much on him. Arriving round the back was Ashley Phillips. Up from the back, that'll be Chelsea ball. Yamba onto Hall. He's going to continue his run. Bale and McEachran. Simons. Rankin. Charlie Musonda. Let's see a bit of those magic feet. Well, that'll do. He's drawn the foul. Didn't need to foul him, did they? They had him running towards the touchline. And there is our answer. Centre forward, straight swap. Soon Bell will come on for Fiyabema, Tommy.
Yeah, not surprised to see Jude come on. I think, as I said, he'll give us another option. Fiyabema's worked hard. It's been absolutely fruitless up there. I mean, he's got no rewards at all. Some of the balls up to him have been shocking. He's not held on to it on occasions, and he's had a bit of a frustrating afternoon. Let's hope Jude can change that equation again.
Straight into the box. How about this for a bit of instant impact? Yes, please. Lewis Baker can really deliver well from here. Let's see it. That's a good ball! And it's very nearly an equalising goal. Was that Mbuyamba who got up there?
It
was. The follow-up, now the whistle's gone anyway. That's a great delivery from Lewis Baker. That is much more like it. He's so good at those and has been for years.
But again, it's the area. It's a much better. He's further down the pitch. It's a great ball drilled in there. He actually was very unlucky, Mbuyamba, because he catches the back of Phillips, goes down. I don't think the keeper's actually really got that. I think Brooking tries to nick it off him, and the referee gives a free kick again. The goalkeeper gets the benefit of the doubt. Oh.
You're right. He's headed it down well there. I'd love to see a bit of Hawkeye as to where that header actually would have gone. It may well have been headed down into the ground and up and in.
To be fair to Phillips, he's done well because he's just got something on it. It hits him on the back and he's just sort of nullified the power. But better movement already from Jude Soon-Sutbell.
He's got Hall on the overlap. Oh, it's a dangerous ball. Chirino's there. Does it flag up anyway?
I think he's give offside as he hauled, maybe just gone a little bit early, and the pass from Soon-Sutbell didn't get him behind. But again, he's been on a couple of minutes, and the movement's been much better. It is a set piece again. I mean, Mbuyamba gets up really well here. You can see, and Phillips is just there, but it's him on the back. I think that's going to go in, because I think he's headed it back to where it's coming from. Going to go in the corner of the net. We'll never know, because Phillips does his job and gets his body in the way.
Yeah, a little piece of it, and a big enough piece of it to change its direction and make it, I agree with you, a simpler save than it would have been, certainly. Still half an hour to play, and a few more promising signs here, but on the charge and winning yet another free kick. And it's a really tasty position, this. Harlock coming straight over for it.
We had Hall, Mbuyamba and George McEachran in there. I just don't think he really needs to make that challenge, and you know, it's an opportunity, you said. I mean, to give Gilsman some credit, he's driven at the back four and created that challenge, but it's a poor challenge from my point of view.
There's Mike Sheeran on the left there. You'll recognise the bald head. Had that in his playing days, scoring decent amounts of goals for Manchester City and others. Newly appointed to the Blackburn role. Now, Harlock has moved away, and it's going to be Sam Durrant by the looks of things, unless they've got something cheeky planned. Look out to the right of the wall as we're looking. There it is, Durrant, and the wall did its job. Right, Soonsup up Bell, off you go.
Oh, smash it. Oh no, it's the wrong ball.
That is the wrong. Crossfield would appear to have been the one. They'll try and put a bit of pressure on here. It's a solid clearance from Dowling. It'll end up all the way down the other end with Teddy Sharmanlow. That's a shame.
Yeah, Dion Rankin made a great run down the left-hand side there, and for me, the Soonsup Bell plays the ball in behind, and it's the wrong pass, and had he tried the 30-40 yarder, we were one-on-one.
And he will back himself to pull off any kind of pass, really, Lewis Baker. He's always been pretty confident with his range.
Yeah, Andy's just shouted out Lewis Baker. That ball spun there and bounced. He's got someone's got to make a challenge there. The Blackburn defenders expecting challenge to be made. He just lets it fall into his lap, and they end up playing up from the back. And I think Lewis has got to make his mind up early there. But there's more pace in our game now, Ben. We're sort of getting at them a little bit more.
Yep, no doubt about it. There's some pace in Lewis Hall here. Vale. Hall again. It's definitely a far more threatening Chelsea at the moment. It'll be a Hall throw. It's funny to think Lewis Baker was in the Chelsea side. He scored, actually was voted across all levels the goal of the season. 2014 when Chelsea won this league, and it's older guys. 7 years ago, came top of the division, that ended up having to, it's a playoff situation, had to beat both Manchesters, including at Old Trafford 2-win. What was not at that point the PL2 title, it was still the reserve title. There's a really good ball whipped in by Xavier Simons there and sliced over. That could easily have been an own goal off Ashley Phillips.
Yeah, he's ended up making real good contact with this Ashley Phillips, which has got it over the bar. But again, it's a great little ball into a great area. I've said this many times, I love my strikers attacking the near post here, but the defender does it for us and managed to screw it over his own goal. But again, better play down this right-hand side.
Chelsea corner. Well delivered. Beast of a header coming in there again at the back post. Mbuyamba. He had half a chance a moment ago, diverted into the keeper's grasp. This one he couldn't keep down. What a chance.
Yeah, again, it's great pace on the ball. This one, I think, it's got a little bit too much pace. He just can't get above it. And he's sort of trying to steer it, but he just can't get it and to steer it downwards. And unfortunately, it goes over the bar. But again, a great set piece, great pace on the ball in.
Blackburn change here with Connor McBride coming on, who's already been a goal scorer this season in the match against Tottenham Hotspur. That was a 3-3. They had a 4-4 after that. That was their last game. He's on for Durrant. And hopefully they're going to have at least a 1-1 here. So I keep mentioning the fact they've chucked away leads in just about every game. Maybe they will do it again here.
That's better from George McEachran. That's what he's good at, nicking the ball. But throw-on wasn't the best, but it's a foul.
will be a Chelsea free kick. And apologies if you picked up a bit of language that you shouldn't have been hearing a little moment ago. Sunday lunchtime and all that. Not the sort of stuff you get on Songs of Praise later. Sorry about that if you did hear it. And, a bit of treatment before George Baketquin can deliver here. Hammy gone?
Looks like it, yeah.
Maybe. This was, or is, the reason Chelsea are behind. Harvey Vale just trying to clear it and clattered into the thigh of Jake Garrett instead. Sam Burns tucked it away. He's on to 6 goals for the season. Top rover. He's actually been a bit less effective today than in the previous couple of games we've seen him in. But not that he's been not good, but he was so good in the spring.
Yeah, he's got great energy, but as you made the point, he's also got great quality and he makes really good runs. We saw that run in the first half, which Sharman Lowe had to get down low and make the save. And obviously he's got at the moment what will be the winning goal. So he's had an impact of sorts.
Baketquin felt far more positive about Chelsea in the last 15 minutes or so. Dion Rankin here. He's done well. He's done very well. Beaten his man, got a dangerous ball in. It might have been a bit of a slice, but it almost went in.
Yeah, it was one of them good bad ones, wasn't it? Again, he takes him on here, he takes Gilsman on, and that's where you want him. He's a left winger, he's not a natural defender. He gets a lot of pace on the ball. Now, you can see the goalkeeper scrambling across to try and get something on it. Unfortunately, from Chelsea perspective, just over the bar.
It's one of those you see a couple of around grounds every year. Just sort of beat the keeper, grazed the bar and float back out towards the far side. It very nearly turned into a freakish equaliser. Ferguson with the throw here. Still a quarter of the game to go. Forward by Nolan. Blackburn have passed their way around that quite neatly. The look of Jared Harlock today, he's done very well.
Yeah, he looks technically good, and obviously from set pieces he's been very effective.
So's Dion Rankin since he came on,
here.
Although that is going to be a free kick.
And it wasn't Dion Rankin.
No.
It was the block off here from Xavier Simons. Yeah, and he's going to get a yellow card for it, blatant, and the referee saw it, as we all did. Again, it's a decision that a poor decision from Xavier, because I think Dion Rankin had... Oh, no, it's a red card.
Oh, because he was booked earlier. Of course he was. Oh, dear. Just as Chelsea were beginning to build up ahead of steam, he did pick one up earlier in the game.
And I think Dion Rankin's got this in control. And he's, to be fair, he smashed him with his left hand, which I didn't see in natural play. Dion's got there. I mean, there's no chance that Sereno's going to come across. And
yeah, well, it's too high up, isn't it? Didn't need to do it, and it's a shame. He's played really well since coming back into contention at academy level, Xavier Simons, but you see it here when you've got a card. Don't stick your arm out and block him off there. No need.
No. We had plenty of bodies back. Dion's already doing the job for you. Poor decision, and unfortunately the referee had a fantastic view. Yeah.
Lonely walk back to the dressing room on that ground floor in the academy building there.
Don't wait for the ball to come to you. Hang on.
Just when Chelsea were looking more threatening. It's now 20 minutes plus.
Oh, what a ball.
What a ball in that is. Offside, was he? Or out of play, I think.
That was out of play. That was Gilsman. I mean, what a great ball that is. I mean, just waiting for someone to come on the end of it and tap it in.
Well, that is a kick in the teeth. It's going to take a good effort now. 3 changes made. There's Chirino. Blackburn have a corner. Now you feel they're more likely to dominate territorially, Tommy. Not easy to say those words. I'll stop trying.
This is the ball early. I mean, what a great ball. Teddy Sharman-Lowe doesn't know whether to stick or twist. Unfortunately, just drifts wide of that far post and goes off for a goal kick. But great quality on the ball. But no, you're right. I think, you know, they're passing the ball. Their passing's been good in the first half anyway, without us putting it with 11 men and not putting them under pressure. So you expect the passing to be as crisp as it is now.
Gilsman pulling it back. Danger!
Oh,
what a save that is! Joe Nolan must have thought that was in. I think we all did.
I mean, his first touch here is real good, and then it pops up. You can see again, it's Gilsman on this left-hand side. He gets a bit lucky with a ricochet, pulls the ball back. First touch there is good. It limps up, and that's going in the top of the net all day long. Sharman-Lowe, what a great reaction save that is with his upper right arm. Great tip over the bar.
Brilliant bit of keeping to keep Chelsea in the contest. That's David De Gea, that is. Keeping Man United in matches lately. And wow, what a save.
Well, let's hope it can inspire the boys. Their backs against the wall here, but let's hope that save keeps them in the game. And they said we can get that equalising goal at least.
Dangerous. And this time it's nodded wide. He didn't have to make the save that time, Sharman-Lowe. I was thinking that was going to find its way into the far corner there.
Well, I think Joe Nolan's got a better position. If Sam Burns as a striker, you've got to go for it, but he wasn't aware that Nolan was in behind him. And I'm not so sure if he doesn't miss that Nolan doesn't touch it in anyway.
Gilsman up the line, that was out of play. Well, 20 to go, technically still in it.
Marvellous save. His first touch pops up there nicely, and it's a volley. It's going into the top of the net, and it gets better. Keep showing it because it gets better and better. It's absolutely top-class save from Sharman-Lowe.
It's an early contender for save of the season, that is. A little sloppy again, even it's just been moments like that. Even that clearance there from Brooking, yes, he's won the throw, but as he got closed down, he didn't quite get rid quick enough. Just passed it across the back, I think, a little slowly today. You know what I mean? If you are going to knock it.
Yeah.
We've had similar grumbles sometimes with first team last season when Rudiger and James just sort of slowly passing it to one another and back again. If you're going to do it across the back, bang, bang, bang.
You've got to zip it. You've got to move people about, and if you're lazy with your pass, then it gives them a chance to readjust their position. And I think we've done that a lot today. I agree at the back. And Josh, I think, just kicked that out of bounds, but yeah. Well, I think we need to regroup. I mean, I think that the yellow cards set us back, obviously. Xavier was having an effect on the game down this right-hand side. A couple of good balls into the box, and obviously we're going to miss that outlet now, and I think it's going to take us a good few minutes to adjust, but unfortunately there's only sort of 17 to go, so got to do it quickly, please.
One of the better Blues on show, I think, before that dismissal. Yellow card 10 minutes before the half-time interval, and then stepped across with the arm. Daft, really. Learning curve and all that. We always say that at this level, and it is. I doubt he'll do that again.
No, if he looks back, you know, as I said, the situation was under control. Dion had the defender in his pocket, and it was just a poor decision from him. Jude's done fantastic.
That'll do. He had no right to win that free kick, did he?
No, and he's just chased a lost cause, and that's what you've got to do in these situations. Just make something happen. You know, create that spark. He was never favourite to win this, but he just got his foot in the way there, got his body in the way, and Jake Garrett fouls him, and again it's a chance to get a decent set piece into the box. Right,
there are all sorts of options here. McEachran, Baker, Vale. It's going to be either the left of McEachran or the right of Baker.
Actually, it's a little bit closer than I initially thought, so it might be a shooting opportunity. You can see Lewis sizing up. Maybe he's going to bend it into the near post.
He's gone for it, because it wasn't the biggest wall. There were three of them, and there were gaps in it, but he's unfortunately not got it over said wall. Now, that looked like a foul as well on McEachran, surely. Well, at the very least, it's a corner. No, has he given that the other way?
No, he can't have done.
I think he has.
For me, Gilsman's fouling George McEachran here. Look, I mean, how was that a foul for Blackburn?
Oh, the
handball.
handball.
Well, it's a foul anyway.
Well, it should have been. It is a Blackburn ball, and it's also a Blackburn substitution. That is Luke Brennan, who was their late hero in their last game. Deep into stoppage time, he scored a 4-4 equaliser at Leeds when they'd been 4-2 down. So he was their equivalent of Lewis Hall, I guess, who did the same thing for Chelsea that weekend. Vale. Good. Really good. Soon's up belt. Musonda's in the middle.
Do you know what that was creative by? Jude Sumpsup-Bell chased across the back four there and put them under pressure. And he's just created the opportunity there for Chelsea to get a strike. And I mean, to be fair, Gilsman, who's coming off, he's been very effective, and he's had a decent game, the young man. So pleased to see him coming off because he's been a threat.
On comes Luke Brennan. They need him to help see out their first win here rather than rescue them a point, which is what he did in the Leeds game. Hooked out by the other sub, Conor McBride. "15 minutes or thereabouts." Sharman Lowe here with that save has kept Chelsea in the contest, albeit a tough ask to get level with 10. Promise here, Soonsup-Bell, Hall.
Need bodies in the box, Ben.
Vale is coming, so too Musonda. Hall pulls it back.
Oh, miss it.
Where's that gone? Musonda, no. Scuffer. Oh, it's a goal kick.
Yeah, Charlie, he's not been at his sharpest today. He's not affected the game at all. This is just a real good run down the left-hand side from Lewis Hall. Drives into an area, pulls the ball back. If there's an over there, if someone gives him an over there, June Toomsup-Bell, I think it's an easier strike. It falls to Charlie Musonda. As you say, it's a scuffer. It's a poor finish.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a call. If Jude, I mean, Jude's fair play to have a swing at it if he thinks he can. If he leaves it, Harvey Vale's probably walking onto it and absolutely smashing it left boot, and it ends up coming through to Charlie Musonda, who did not absolutely smash it. Oh, what a shame. I don't think it would be that obvious to tell that Chelsea are a man down here, you know. It's not been bad. In fact, this second half, there's not been a huge amount of defending for the Blues to do, even if we have seen a stunning stop from Teddy Sharman Lowe.
Yeah, and to be fair, at the other end, Dowling has come out and caught a few crosses. Apart from that, he's not. Oh dear, what a chance we had there to try and nick it.
That was a bit Ward-Prowse on Jorginho from yesterday, that. Rankin.
Oh, he's done a great deal.
What a touch that is.
Again, you know, Andy would be pleased with the effect that young man's had on the second half, because I think he's been very lively. And again, you saw
and Hall,
and
both
Hall as
his
well.
changes actually have worked out.
That.
I've wanted
That's
more
better, Charlie.
from Musonda, but that was more like it. Soonsup-Bell.
Get in the box.
Three of them are there. Vale's trying to find them. It's over Hall. McEachran just out-muscled by Brennan.
He's offside.
Bulky lad there, he didn't even bother running on there, Sam Burns.
No, I mean, whilst it was a good run from Brennan, I mean, he's held on to the ball far too long there. You see Sam Burns is trying to get in. Eventually makes the run and going to be offside.
More and more I see of Lewis Hall, the more I think Chelsea have got themselves a fine player. I mean, he's just 17, a couple of weeks ago, you know, and he's now a PL2 regular, I think you would have to say, Tom. He's played at some point in the last 4 games. Literally 17 years old, he turned 3 weeks ago, Lewis Hall.
I think he's been excellent, mate. The games I've seen him, I think he's been tremendous, and I loved him even more when he got the winner against Liverpool. But he's been very effective. He's got good pace, got a lovely left foot. We saw that drive into the box there. Got a lot of endeavour, and as I said, there's a lot about his game I really like. And yeah, at 17, got a long way to go, but got a chance.
And bear in mind, when he plays at, inverted commas, his level, He's a central midfielder. He plays with the number 8 on his back. He's not part of a back 3 or a wing back. So he's shoehorned in as a 16 and now 17-year-old in a different position, and he looks, well, fine. I'll do that. It's a bit similar actually in the Jody Morris, Joe Edwards teams of a young Reece James who played a bit of midfield, back 3, back 4, wing back. Card. I don't think it was for Lewis Baker there, but whatever it is, it's going to be is it McEachran? Yeah. It's going to get us going with the drop ball. 9 minutes plus stoppage time. Great Keckren just slides that out. Vale. Chelsea are going to need a late hero. There are a couple of them in that Liverpool match we've referenced a few times today. Musonda, Brooking. Good ball for Dion Rankin to pull back. It's a corner. Lovely way to pass there. That's not an easy ball that Brooking's played through there. No. More Trevor Brooking than Josh Brooking.
It was a great ball, to be fair to Luke Brennan. He was going to the outside and Dion Rankin cut in, and the ball inside him was really well hit. Again, Rankin got onto it. Just again, the defender comes across and gets it off for a set piece. But this has been where we've actually competed very well in the second half, Ben. Mbuyamba's had 2 headers, one which hit the target, one which went over, and we need another decent ball in.
And it is a decent ball in, and it is another header for him. Got over this one all right. Bang down into the ground and bounces over the bar, and he wasn't marked. That's the best chance of the 3.
Well, Phillips has fallen over in the box. I don't know whether he slipped or there was contact, but the ball from McEachran was fantastic. Great pace, hit into a fantastic area. You see Phillips goes over here. I think he slips. Mbuyamba's got a free header. Got to do better. Has to hit the target. Got to do better there, and that's another chance we've left to Roo.
Strength here, going the other way for Brennan. Nudged out of it by Lewis Baker. That'll do, just on the right side of legal. Mbuyamba scored with his first touch as a PL2 player, right at the back end of last season. Came on, scored from a set piece. Literally his first touch of the ball as a Chelsea player. That was a great chance.
What a ball that is.
Wow. Harvey Vale attacking the box, using his strength, and still using his strength. The whistle had gone. He called that a foul.
I think he's give it for offside.
Oh, are you sure?
It didn't look offside, yeah.
Is it for that?
It's the second contact. It's the second contact. Harvey stuck a leg out, and you can see Andy Mars is complaining to the assistant this side. I don't think that's a free kick. I think he's just protecting the ball. And yes, there's an outstretched leg, but that for me is not a free kick.
I mean, I guess you could say he kept on going and he didn't finish it anyway, but maybe, you know, keeper, defenders have done different things having heard a whistle, so you never really know. But I don't think this has been a decent response, having lost Xavier Simons, actually. I did wonder if Blackburn would boss the ball and boss the territory, but it hasn't been like that. The ball's been in this Blackburn half far more. Rankin, 6 minutes plus stoppage time.
Yeah, Lewis Baker's gone into this sort of quarterback role. He's just playing in between the 2 centre-backs and knocking the ball around, allowing Josh Brooking to get forward a little bit, and Mbuyamba. So it's worked well, the shape of the team since he's gone off.
McEachran, no, way too much on that.
Yeah, again, it's a great run in behind, but there was a lack of space in behind for George to hit the ball in. He had to beat the first defender with the pace of the ball, which then he couldn't sort of stop it quick enough for him to get onto it.
Well, there's going to be a lot of sources of frustration. There'll be a source of pride if the Blues can nick something here. It's a horrible defeat to West Ham when they got the winner in the 99th minute. The other defeats for Man City, 4-1, but it wasn't really 4-1. They got a couple of goals really late in that. And then, obviously, well, there was the 6-1 at Arsenal. Here's Soonsup Bell. Charlie Musonda. A lot of traffic in front of him and not enough power on the shot.
Yeah, sometimes them scuffers go in though. It's well directed, and again, Susuk Bell does really well. Picks out a pass on the edge of the box. He chases a lost cause again. Defender doesn't do very well, Phillips there, but he sees the run of Musonda at the edge of the box, plays it back into his path. First touch is okay, gets it out of his feet. Scuffer, but sometimes they go in.
We're just looking at Lewis Hall there, like any good central midfielder, which is what he is. He was bursting forward in case. That was very Lampard-esque. You think how often Frank was on hand. When one of those scuffers, as you say, they bobble at the keeper, maybe he just sticks an arm out. And Lewis Hall was there and ready to tap it in if he did, but sadly not. Here's the number 8 on the day, Lewis Baker. I think all the subs have had a positive impact, in fairness. Sunsup Bell, Rankin here, and Lewis Hall. They've all been good. Two of them trying to win back possession there.
No, I agree, Ben. I think they give a different energy to the team and quality. So, again, Andy's made some right decisions, but they're not getting the points at the moment.
To make a policy decision well before this game, well before midweek, with that trip to Turin and an 18s match as well, of course, yesterday. There'll be players that for various reasons could have been involved today that haven't been. Haig and Thomas and Ware and Charlie Webster actually got the 18s goal yesterday. He would normally be playing in this, but they were coming back in.
Yeah, that young man with the ball there's been quiet today, Ben, hasn't he? We've not really seen the best of Harvey Vale today. That
few moments really,
yeah,
but not throughout the match. You're right.
First half, he's created that opportunity for Brian Fearbeamer, which was about a foot out, but he managed to screw past the near post and not hit the target. But apart from that, he's not really had the effect you've seen so far this season.
This is the thing, because a player has a good little spell, as he did when he came in the new year. In the spring, really, as a starter at this level, as a 17-year-old, and you're like, okay, this young man's got a bit about him, and then he has the start to the season he's had here, so it raises your bar of expectation, doesn't it? I mean, this is technically an under-23 division. He turned 18 a couple of weeks ago, but because we've seen what we've seen of him, we therefore think that he's down a bit on level today. I suppose that's entirely natural, really, that will. No one plays brilliantly every week at 18.
No. And, you know, they're, as you said, they're learning the game. It's a great ball from Lewis Baker, great pace on it.
Fizzed out to Rankin. Brooking. And McEachran, 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Vale. Here's a chance to pull it. No, it's going to be cut out by Harlock.
Now you can see the intent. Saw Lewis Baker on the edge of the box. Thought that was the better option there, and unfortunately there was no pace on the ball. Mbiamba's got caught here. Again, it's Sam Burns driving him mad. He's a busy little man, and just nicks the ball off him.
Harlock. Brendan. Oh, it's a great effort.
What a great strike that was. I mean, that's it, the post. So unlucky there, Brendan. Done everything right and bent it into a great area. And fortunately for Chelsea, it's the post and comes out.
That was better from Musonda to find Vale. And now Hall on the charge again. Chelsea corner.
Yeah, it does well, Phillips there. I mean, you know, Lewis Hall's just trying to get him to bite and then toe the ball past him, but he stands his ground and eventually gets it off for a set piece. What a great sequence of play. What a great strike this was. Just cuts in on his right foot, gets inside Dion Rankin, just picks his spot, hits the post and comes out. We get very fortunate there.
And as a result, instead of 2-0, we've got positive hats on. This could be 1-1. Come on, Lewis Baker. Been a couple of really good deliveries after some disappointing ones earlier. Tons to aim at in the box.
Oh, got to beat the first man.
Got to beat the first man. Brennan gets it away. I was just thinking it might be fourth time lucky for Xavier Mbuamba. He could pop one onto his head, but it didn't get that far. 90 minutes. We're about to find out how much added time there will be as McBride brings it forward for Blackburn here. Oh, he's overplayed it. Thank you very much. And the busy Rankin. 3 added minutes. Right, here we go. Hall has been everywhere in the best possible way since coming on. Go on, do it again. Stop his time, Hero.
Oh, you get lucky.
Oh, he didn't, he just.
Phillips got so lucky there. He's twisting and turning him. It's hit him on the heel as he's going to go past him.
You know, it's hard to leave Lewis Hall out of this side, even though he's the youngest out there. He has been brilliant coming off the bench again. Just a bit of check spin on that ball, wasn't there? Otherwise it didn't. Josh Brooking just on his heels. I think, in particular, Rankin and Hall, and to some extent Soonsup Bello. You know, all you can ask the coach is if it's not working, you make some changes and see if it does. And all three of them have been really good.
They've been excellent. Yeah, very, very talented boys.
But it hasn't brought a goal somehow. And this group have scored in all games. Like Josh Brooking saying, I want a free kick. No, it's going to be a Blackburn throw instead. Going to be shut out, it looks like, unless they find something in the next couple of minutes. Even in defeat this term, they have always got themselves on the score sheet. Should have done today.
Have a look at Brennan's movement there. Brennan's movement is just
away
to block,
from.
Exactly, just to block it. And the assistant's right in front of him. And we've seen a yellow card just now. It was a little bit more blatant than that for Xavier Simons for doing exactly the same thing.
When you think the Amber headers, Musonda's had a couple of moments, Vale's had a shot just over the bar. I'm not saying there have been millions of chances, but right at the start of it all, the Fia Bamer opportunity. Chelsea are going to be shut out for the first time this season. There have been opportunities. That said, we've seen one come out off the upright a moment ago and a worldie of a save from Teddy Sharman-Lowe. I'm not going to say that Chelsea have deserved to win this game, but could have pinched a point.
No,
Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
We've done enough in free play to warrant a point today. Set pieces we've done well at, and some decent balls in the box. Mbiamba in particular, very unlucky not to get on the score sheet, but generally overplay. I think Blackburn have been the better side. They certainly in the first 30 minutes were far better than us. Yeah, they set the stall out then and got their goal then, and looked very much the better side. And had it been more than 1-0 at half-time, it wouldn't really have been an unfair reflection. It'd be hard to say otherwise, whatever coloured specs we're wearing. Out of play, I think. Right, forward, very quickly. Lump it. George wants it on his left boot. There's Baker. Off you go. Now or never. I think it's going to be never, because there's not enough time, and that's out of play. And the 3 minutes are up. Yeah.
Let's check the watch. Ferguson will just eat up a few more seconds here, and I think that'll be that. Yes, it will. It is Blackburn's first win of the season and the first shutout for the Blues. Disappointing first half. There was a lot more to enjoy from a Chelsea perspective in the second. Teddy Sharman-Lowe made a wonderful save to keep the Blues in the contest, but for once Chelsea have not scored a goal for this Andy Myers group, and Blackburn will leapfrog Chelsea in the PL2 table. They have won at Cobham this Sunday afternoon by that early penalty to 0, and Andy Myers, I don't think, will be particularly chuffed with that performance, even if there were some better signs after the break. First corner of the game. This is where it all started in a pretty dominant first half Blackburn display. Harvey Vale's foul, no real doubt about that, on Garrett. And Sam Burns did the rest from the spot.
Yeah, his first touch here is poor, just gets it away from him, and as you said, Garrett just nicks it, and there's definite contact there, and a blatant pen.
Burns making it 1-0 there, their top scorer, making it 6 for the season. And what has tended to happen in Blackburn games this season, and just about every one of them, is they have gone in front and then they've either thrown it away to draw or on several occasions lose. But here they were cutting through Chelsea with ease, actually, not even always with brilliant football. good committed football and energetic football, but simple passes like that. That was Burns nearly making it 2.
Yeah, first of all, it was a nutmeg on the halfway line. Ferguson nutmegs the forward, and then it's a great little ball played from Harman down the channel there. And Sam Burns, very lively as always, hits the target. Good save from Sharman Lowe.
Harvey Vale switched sides and here managed to ping one in for Brian Fearbamer. I'm still wondering how that's not gone in. Best chance for Chelsea of the day.
Yeah, it was the only real clear-cut chance from free play, and again, this is what Harvey Vale does really well. Gets it onto his weaker right foot, but still steers a fantastic ball into a great area. I can't believe he's missed that. But this is
that was the first yellow card for Xavier Simons, where we thought he got the ball. I think he did also get foot. The referee probably suggesting here, Tom, that he takes foot and then ball. Yeah, actually, the more you see that one, the slightly the worse it gets as well. But
yeah, I think he makes contact with the ball. Yeah, I mean, I just think also it's the power, but this is a great ball into the box, and it falls to Harvey Vale late in the first half, Ben, and he smashes it across the goal mouth, and it gets so much on it, but lifts it over the bar there, and again, as another chance goes begging.
Yeah, Simons was really good again. First few games he's had back after a year out injured. But sadly for him, he got a second yellow here, just stepping across, blocking the player off anyway, was perhaps a slightly cynical foul, but the fact he did it with a raised arm, Tommy, if you're on a caution.
Yeah, I can't defend the second challenge. I mean, I thought the first one was a bit harsh, but this one here, you can see he cuffs him on the ear with his arm, and it's blatant. It's right in front of the referee. It's a poor decision because we had the situation under control.
This is worth another look. Teddy Sharman Lowe with the stop here from Joe Nolan, who did everything right.
I mean, it was fantastic. Again, it gets better every time you see it. The first touch from Nolan pops up nicely for him. He just volleys it, just touches it really. It's going into the top of the net. And Sharman Lowe, he stretches so high here. Great touch there, just to tap it over the bar. Fantastic reaction save.
You just can't believe that hasn't gone into the roof. It's a wonderful stop. Nolan couldn't believe it. And here with 8 to play, Xavier Mbuyamba, that was the third and the best of his three-headed chances, Tommy.
He was very unlucky. The first one caught the back of the centre-half, Phillips, very unlucky. On this occasion, he's got to hit the target. He heads it down as you're taught to do, but you have to hit the target and test the keeper there.
Well, Blackburn nearly pinched a second right near the end. The substitute here, Luke Brennan, doing everything right. Off the face of the post.
Yeah, that would have been the icing on the cake for Blackburn. Again, Brennan does great, cuts inside here and bends a lovely little ball into the far stick, does everything right, hits the woodwork, unfortunately for Chelsea, comes out.
So, a 1-0 defeat for the PL2 boys to go with a rare 1-goal defeat for the youth team yesterday. The first team at least won, and so did the women. And in terms of the first team, Matchday Live will be back with you on the 5th Stand app live from just before 4:30 with the team news first and fastest from the new home of Brentford. Our first trip there, that is after the international break a week on Saturday. Well, I'm sorry we weren't able to bring you the expected goal fest that these two sides could and maybe should have produced, but it was a decent effort, especially after going down to 10. Just not quite good enough to see off Blackburn here. From Tommy Langley and I, it's goodbye.